Okay, I spent the last, what, 10 minutes wrestling with this game, trying to make sure that it's right, and it's not. I mean, it looks better, but damn Tyranno builder. JP the Third here, TheEndsNow.com. Thank you very much for checking us out here on the channel. We've got today the demo for Dawn Drop, and hopefully I can make it through in one piece. I haven't had the best relationship with Tyranno builder made games for a very particular reason, but I'm hoping for the best, and hopefully this game will give us something to talk about. So let's go. Education is not just about going to school and getting a degree. Okay, so inspirational quote. It's about widening your knowledge and absorbing the truth about life. Shakuntala Devi. Whoopity-doo. What does it mean to be successful? What does it entail? Is this another quote? It's just, okay, yeah. What does it mean to be successful? What does it entail? Is it happiness or is it satisfaction? Is it a difference? Where do these come from? The sentiments of achievement that humanity strives to get their hands on. No one knows, but what people do know is that you can't get there without experiencing two things: suffering and struggles. The happiness and joys of life stemming from the ability to overcome these obstacles. Simply put, struggling is to improve and to suffer is to learn. In a perfect mind at least, and if you can master that, well, I read that completely wrong, I apologize. And if you can master that, I read the entire sentence wrong, we're going to keep going. Then you have complete control of everything in your life. That's a bad way to look at it, but we're going to go with it. So many people lose themselves to one or the other, though, that it seems almost impossible to see the dawn that comes after the night. The suffocating and maddening darkness that tears you apart while you search for a streak of light, never giving you a moment's respite. And man, I am not the grammar Nazi here, but those punctuations are everywhere. How often people fall, and how often people are willing to throw everything away for a taste of success and satisfaction. Like an animal in the desert, they want water, even if it's only a drop. I get the title now. No matter how little it helps or lasts, just that moment of satisfaction is enough for most. But sometimes there is a wandering soul that guides those lost in the dark just a bit faster to their dawn, traversing the storm and showing that no one is really alone on their journey through the night, and that the light is the true place. Blah, 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 blah. Obtainable and embraceable. After all, my God. Even the coldest environments and the most blinding darkness can feel just a little bit warm and easier to see in when you have a helping hand. Get on with it. Oh my God. You might even come to find that it was never really dark. You just had your eyes closed and the dawn was staring you in the face, blindingly magnificent and luminous, waiting for you to admire its breathtaking existence. And you look back. You know, you could have ended it 3 sentences ago. Oh my God. And as you look back at your path filled with stumbles, stomps, and circles, you ask yourself a final question. Was it worth it? Am I dying? No. Okay, first off, why is there a poster of the game inside this game world? Is the game a game in the game world? Is this some kind of weird inception that I am not approving of at this moment in time? That's what I need to know right now. The sun is bright and radiant as always, and I can feel its invasive rays race up into my eyes. The uninvited and sudden blast of light leaking through my curtains and waking me up from my dreams. What curtains? Your windows are open. And your bed, like, if you didn't want the sun to wake you up, why isn't your bed on the other side of the room? Just move the furniture around. If I had to say anything about being woken up, it would probably be that I am somewhat bitter from having to leave the comfort of my warm bed. But still, complaining doesn't change the fact that I need to get up and get dressed. Today is orientation after all, the important first day of the semester. As I turn in my bed, I reach for my phone and I can feel the cold wooden surface of my desk as my hand slaps around it before a spine-chilling crack resonates through my room and a scream-inducing pain rides down my finger. The pain is enough to jolt me fully awake as I grab my hand that had somehow managed to ram itself into my metal desk lamp, which being the yielding contraption the metal lid is, simply laughed at my fingers' feeble attempt to move it aside and search for my phone. I know you're enjoying writing this, but visual medium. Visual. With a tear now in my eye, I get up and swipe my phone off my desk. Its screen lights up, which tells me to oh god. The writer, I'm sure they were having a lot of fun writing this one. Excuse me, I hope I didn't blow out the mic. They had a lot of fun writing this one, but the point may have been missed. It's a bit later than I anticipated, but still early enough that I don't have to worry about being late. It's a satisfying feeling to know that I can wake up without an alarm clock on time. Somewhat. So with that, I take care of my morning routine of brushing and bathing, preparing for the upcoming day, getting my A game ready. And within a matter of minutes, I'm ready to go. With my cologne situated and my phone in hand, I grab a weathered piece of paper that is sitting on my desk. It's ragged, slightly torn, and somewhat flimsy by now because of how many times I read it. But the most interesting thing about it is the 2 seals of authentication on his body. I'm trying so hard not to laugh I'm messing up the English. Usually I can do that on my own without the game helping me. One is the seal of Sol Enterprises, the leading company in technological engineering, well known for its wild yet effective creations which have recently begun ushering in a new age of innovation. Dawn, Sol. Sol is either Greek or Latin for sun. You see the connection there. The sun burning through, and the picture frame of either a sunrise or sunset, depending on your point of view. Like, this game is a lot of things subtle, ain't it? The seal depicts a soaring eagle in front of a rising sun. Its large, intricately drawn wings spread wide open over the whole design, the sun itself being just as marvelously and pleasing to look at. The other seal, while just as important, doesn't hold much meaning to me. But to the world, the meaning is greater than the aforementioned seal. Linnaeus University. Their seal is much simpler. It has a reef that surrounds a stylized G and U. The end of the G turning into a U. I'm trying to picture that in my head. I don't know if that actually works. This is visual medium. This is why we need visuals. Now, normally these two entities are not related, but for this specific piece of paper, they have come to exist on the same page. Wow. Department of Redundancy is redundant. The identity of this ever-important document, they're paying for you to go to school! We get it! But this ever-important document is none other than that of a recommendation letter, written by Dimitri Sol, my father, and stamped by him. Yeah. How he got the seal, though, is beyond me, since I could have sworn he left the position of being a what? Long before I ever entered high school, meaning he had managed to somehow swipe one of the wooden stamps. Or he could have just said, hey, give me your stamp. I'm the head of one of the biggest technological companies in the world. I'm going to use your stamp now, and here's $1 million for the privilege. One or the other. Which sounds like something he would do, honestly. Gently picking up the precious document, I turn it over and bring it to my face to read it one more time. Oh my god. Dear Vance, it has been a while since we have spoken. I hope you are well. I myself have been doing rather splendidly. Oh, we're not even 5 minutes in. They could have cut out so much from this introduction. If you're reading this, then it must mean my son has come to you or mailed you this letter. Natch. Which means he has finally yielded to my pleas of having him attend Linnaeus University. Which is, university is capitalized, but okay. Which is odd considering his constant, oh my god. Which is odd considering his constant protesting and aversion to my alma mater, haha. Yes, my son doesn't want to follow in my footsteps. He is your typical rebellious anime protagonist. Generic in every way and waiting for one of these lovely young ladies to fall upon his penis. Okay, that may have been a little much. Oh, and I know you're probably going to say something about writing a letter over emailing you this, but you know how I've always had a thing for old-fashioned tendencies. It has this rustic, authentic feeling. Anyways, Oh, by this point you already know why I'm writing this. Then why are we reading this? I want you to help Dimitri avoid all the riffraff of the enrollment process. I'm more or less sure he meets the requirements to enter Glennaeus on an intellectual level. A bit lazy though, but he definitely is stubborn and tenacious. Again, let me write out everything that identifies my protagonist as generic and vanilla. Reminds me of you a bit when we were in school together. I don't think my boy's hair is much nicer and he doesn't look so snarky. Haha. There's a story there that we're not going to get into today, clearly. I could keep going on, please don't, about how great my son is, but I hope you can do me this favor with just that. Since I know you're a pal and all. If you do, I'll get you some of that lobster meat you like so much from Japan. Japan is not capitalized. I know a guy who can get the best quality lobster meat. But that's a conversation for when we meet again face to face. You know, when we both have time again, which will happen maybe in retirement. With regards, yes, P.S. I kept one of the seal makers from the school from back in the day. I know you probably don't mind, but yeah, I know a letter with that seal will get to you as soon as possible, and waiting ain't some really lifestyle. Then why? You know what? Never mind. Hopefully, this letter's still going. Hopefully you are not too mad, and if you are, well, I don't know. Sorry. At the end of the letter is a badly drawn and somewhat amusing attempt at a laughing emoticon, my father's attempt at staying old-fashioned but modern. It's a funny gesture, and while whether it would be well received or not, it's something I thought about at length. It apparently helped get the point across, since it only took about a day for the Glennaeus admissions department to contact me back and say congratulations on being accepted email. And so a piece of paper, or rather the copy of it, was powerful enough to circumnavigate a whole process that usually took weeks if not months. I suppose that's the power of friendship, though. Speaking of friends, I should probably get going. Time is starting to catch up to me, and I know Jet hates waiting. A few days ago, I had run into a really old friend of mine through social media. How he found me, I'm not sure. But on the other side, he is also going to be attending Glennaeus. A well-timed coincidence. Oh my god. Oh, help me, people! Help me! If you have to spell out that what you're going through is your typical anime coincidence, it's not going to help. It stopped being a typical anime coincidence. If I ever had one, since it meant having a familiar face around. It's been a while since we've last seen each other, though. But it doesn't mean that it doesn't really matter at college, since you don't really know anyone on the first day anyways, which is what makes the first day really tense. At least this way I can reconnect with Jen and see if he's changed anything. He's probably got like 5 piercings through his eyeballs or something, I don't know. Plus, having a friend makes it so much easier to just walk onto campus brimming with confidence versus slinking and crawling around hoping not to make yourself look like a fool and be that guy on campus. Although with someone like Jet, who's extremely stoked to get his learning on, it could just be... My brain is trying to process this sentence grammatically. Oh my god. Although with someone like Jet, who's extremely stoked to get his learning on, it could just make things a lot more difficult for me. Thinking back, it probably is. This is where whoever the editor is just like, screw it, we're gonna move on. Just get it all in there. It's just a demo anyway. Nobody's gonna play this for the internet or anything. Thinking back, it probably is going to make things difficult. Him mentioning his eagerness to start picking up hot Glennaeus girls doesn't bode well for my social limits off the get-go. But if I play my cards right, I can possibly bounce off of that with minimal damage to my reputation. I just want to point out that I am looking at my recording clock. We are almost 15 minutes in. We haven't left his room! Oh my god. Although I am a bit surprised he still somehow kept his playboy attitude after all this time. Which, if that isn't any sign, means he is probably still the same old Jet. Definitely the ball's in my court for this, and while I can brood about it, it'd probably be better to just get it over with. So, with that final thought, I turn around and grab my wallet. I fold the letter neatly into a square and gingerly place it in my pocket. In a pocket. Oh my, there goes my brain again. Usually place it in a pocket for safekeeping. Just edit on the fly on that one. I look at my watch and walk to my small kitchen area. It would be bad to leave without having a quick breakfast and have just enough time. Can't you just leave? Why are we still here? Consisting of a... Okay. Hold on, I need a moment. Okay, again. Visual medium. This is a visual medium. You don't have to spell out every little thing. I know whoever wrote this had a lot of fun writing it. But it's in your best interest in scenes like this just to move things along. Unless something's going to happen in the scene that we can't figure out as an audience, cut it. Skip it. You're good. Consisting of a countertop oven, blah 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 blah, small kitchen, no point for needless upgrades, blah blah blah. Maneuver my hand through the ingredients. I grab a Asiago bagel. Is that like avocado toast? I don't know. It's savory and cheesy, smell gently waves through the air and teases my taste buds. Asiago. This is what I mean! Asiago bagels are my favorite kind of bagel. I cut the bagel in half with a bread knife. Quickly and easily, my bagel is toasted. We're moving along. Otherwise, we'll get to the end of this video and we'll still be in this idiot's room. Taking it out, I throw slices of ham on top, on one side, and then the mozzarella. Okay, there we go. The cornucopia insists busts out the oven as I eagerly finish putting my sandwich together. Take a good bite. The flavor. These typos, man. And I'm not one to talk, but still. Is in one word delicious because of the cheese and the juice from the ham that splashes over my tongue. It was a great sandwich, but then again, it could just be my personal bias towards the ham and cheese sandwiches. I don't know what's going on anymore. We're paired with a cup of cold orange juice, blah blah blah. I enjoy breakfast. It's a shame I'm in a rush. You are not in a rush. You are not. You have too much time to be in a rush. So if it takes me 30 minutes to get to campus by bus, and that bus arrives to my stop in 20 minutes, from which I have 10 minutes to walk to, man, just leave the house! What are you doing? A long walk is a good walk to keep you fit, so I can't complain about the distance, or rather I tell myself to justify the annoying morning walk, blah blah, but I suppose this walk is much better than... This almost makes me happy about Ace Academy when the protagonist just got on his bike and rode off after talking to his sister. With a grunt, I swing my bag over my shoulder, double check, you have everything, leave. But oh, you must be... Oh my god. We were almost out the door. We were so close. Oh my god. But before I locked the door, I realized I forgot my equipment. Running back in, I grabbed the twin bracelets and put them on. A warm surge of electricity riding through. What the hell? Okay, so we finally got to something important. Good. Riding through my body as I do. With my equipment on, I went back out and locked the door. As I step out of the cover of the building that make up my apartment complex, I feel a light wind slowly caressing my face. The sun is out and starting to heat the cold world after a long frigid night, reflecting off the various windows and metal surfaces, causing my eyes to squint. Excuse me. As I continue my trek to the stop, I encounter a cat. So we're not going to explain how he apparently hooked up his Apple Watch to the rest of his body. We're just going to move on to the cat. Otherwise, though, my walk is uneventful, and I arrive just in time to see the bus pull up to my stop. Okay. What's happening? Is a standard old bus warned from continued use and with an engine as loud as could possibly be, faded print, and a dubious suspension system. With the doors open, the driver simply nods his head to motion me to drop the money in the coin slot. $1 in quarters. So this is happening in America. That's nice. I instead swipe my student card on the card reader next to it, and when the green light goes off, the bus driver lets out a small laugh before pointing back so I can take my seat. Carefully maneuvering through the patrons, I find an empty spot next to a lanky man with glasses who looks like he spends too much time indoors, given his shriveled and shaky appearance. Which is only weird because his face doesn't look to be a day over 25. At the end of the day, though, what he does is his life, and I will probably never see him again. This guy is probably like the head villain of the entire visual novel. Thus, there is no point in wondering over his state of appearance. Everyone has a story and a reason. It's not my place to judge. Then as I take my seat, the bus lurches, beginning its journey to the school. As it goes on its way... Oh my god. Okay. Maybe this is going to lead to something important. I inspect the bracelets on my wrist and admire their simple but effective design. The design of the technological marvel known as E... Okay, so is it equipment or E-equipment? Make up your mind, game. What is going on? E-equipment stands for enhancement equipment. And while I have my doubts about the creativity regarding their name, I can't deny that their creation has helped humanity for the better, created solely to help boost human potential. At least where they are currently used, as a fairly new and experimental form of self-enhancement. Okay, so isn't this basically like a steroid or a performance-enhancing drug? I mean, clearly, athlete, some kind of nerd, so academic brain stimulation, possibly a dancer, athlete. So you have a device, which is basically a performance-enhancing drug, and it's legal? How? Maybe it'll explain. Self-enhancement only certified schools are allowed to let their students use equipment, and without the proper certificate or ID, if you as an individual are caught with equipment, you can be in a lot of trouble. So it's illegal! It's illegal unless the government allows you to use it to enhance your body in certain athletic and intellectual events. That sounds shaky as hell. Graduating from these schools, though, gives you a free pass to use equipment where you want, when you want, as long as you don't harm others, but this rule has exceptions. The rule not to harm people has exceptions? Oh my god. That's like saying, okay, everybody, you can't kill anybody. No, that's a bad example, because you can in self-defense. No, better example, because that kind of works. It's just not the way I was going to say. You can't kill anybody unless you just really, really, really feel like this mofo has to die. Now, if you really, really feel that way, then yes, go ahead and kill him. But other than that, you can't kill anybody. So murder is illegal as long as it's illegal. I feel like I'm setting up, okay, you have the elite class and everybody else, but maybe I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's keep going. Furthermore, equips can come in almost any form possible, as long as they have contact with the user's skin, and equips can only be used by the registered user. That sounds like an anime I've heard somebody rip before. Is it the Astrus War or something like that? I'm sure this was like 4 or 5 years ago now. I don't know why it's clicking now, but it was some anime that was ripped apart by somebody. Their abilities and functions are also far and wide, but the standard non-custom equips give their users slightly enhanced processing ability, reflex, and sometimes strength. So yes, illegal drug. For customized equips, the effects could be virtually anything. Mine though, I have almost no clue what they do. What you noticed immediately? My father made them for me long ago and never showed me how to use them. He did stress, though, that if I ever went to Glennaeus to put them on and use them. Deliberately designed to look like standard equip, minus the elegant sun brand on the wrist side of the bracelet. So you're specifically using an illegal one. Got you. I mean, I'm trying so hard. Not that I really mind. Equipped by Sol Enterprises is sure to have something amazing. I just need to find out which has proven to be difficult, as all my experiments thus far haven't helped. This turns him into some kind of sex god, doesn't it? I don't know. In fact, I ended up spraining my ankle during one of my tests. Still deep in thought, with the bus in full motion, we make a few stops, picking up extra passengers here and there. Eventually, the bus driver speaks over his intercom, announcing the next stop to be for Glennaeus University. You can hear murmurs, which shows me that quite a few of the passengers are also students headed to the school for orientation, but the quiet man next to me says nothing. I suppose he's just a businessman on his work commute after all, not a student. Suddenly, I feel myself jerk forward as the bus begins to stop. These brakes squeal as they kill all the forward momentum built up thus far. With the final launch, everything comes to a halt, and I find myself gripping the seat in front of me so that I don't fall over. The driver announces to stop and hits the button to open the doors. It's the guy next to me, Jet. Like, we haven't seen Jet yet, he was supposed to be here. As I wait my turn to get off the bus, I look around for the school gate, and while I can't see it, I'm sure it'll be visible once I step outside. So after some crowding and pushing, I finally step foot on concrete once more. Yet as I look to my left and right, all I see is a sprawling cityscape. No school gate, no campus, really no form of sign telling me where to go. Just a normal city sidewalk. Normally I would think I had gotten off at the wrong stop, or maybe the bus driver had announced it wrong, but as I look around, I see people just as confused and as lost as I am. Which means this has to be the wrong stop, or rather we were told this was the incorrect stop. There was no other explanation. I'm not just going to pick a direction and walk either like some people are doing. I don't have time to go on a fruitless journey. Instead, I turn around and walk back towards the bus driver. If anyone knows where we are and where to go, it would have to be the man who knows this area like the back of his hand. And as I near him, the driver, who seems to be waiting for something, sneers as if he was expecting me. It wasn't a malicious sneer, really. It was more like an amused sneer, the kind you give when you are playing a game and someone finally figures out your crazy for fun strategy. A look of, oh, you caught me, whoops, which doesn't stand to bode well for me or my soon-to-be classmates. Welcome back. I bet I know what brought you back here. You need to know where to go, right? You think I dropped you off at the wrong place? Yeah, that's the usual story, but let me start by telling you that this is indeed the correct stop. In fact, this is the best stop. It's a shame that you are the only one perceptive enough to come back to me and ask for directions, though. Speaks a lot of the news says. Oh, look at how special our protagonist is. He totally deserves the harem we're going to literally drop into his lap. Speaks a lot of this new set of students. Won't last long, this batch. He begins talking before I even get to the bus door. A small smile is painted on his face that he has seen this countless times and that the repetition amused him. As he speaks, he grabs the rim of his hat and adjusts it, which is followed by a quick turn of his neck, which lets out a small pop as he places his hands back on the wheel. A strange character, to say the least. Yet as he speaks, he continues answering almost every possible question I have and was going to have about my current situation. Like I was a pre-programmed AI that he was repeating the same information to, like he had so many countless times before. It's almost unnerving with how much precision and accuracy he continues on until he finally begins to reach the end of his monologue. So to recap, why are you recapping it? If he already explained this, just walk in the direction you have to walk. What are we doing? You want to take the street down that way, about 20 minutes walking. Before you ask, no, there is no other way to get there. At least as a non-dorm resident. Dorm residents of the school have a special ID that lets them on the campus buses to ride around. You guys don't have that luxury, unfair I know. Glennaeus rules also don't let non-school buses onto the campus, or any for that matter, security and all. Down the way I'm supposed to be going soon, down the way I'm going to be going soon, you'll actually find the vehicle station. Not that it matters to you. If you're on my bus, then you don't have a vehicle to park there, haha. Anyway, this is as far as I'm allowed to take you because of that. A final warning though, don't try riding the buses without a special ID. The Glennaeus folks gets really butthurt over people who try to find loopholes or try to sneak their way around the rules. It'd be better to just suck it up and walk. Now I'll be on the way. You're free to do what you wish with the information, share it or not with the people around you. I'd hurry, by the way. Orientation starts soon, real soon. I'd also recommend not being tardy. The new president, I hear, the real stick in the mud when it comes to punctuality. Won't put it past her to suspend you for being late on the first day. You mean the protagonist of the story? Nah. Anyways, later, kid. The bus driver closes the door and drives off down the road, leaving me alone in a plume of smoke. the black gun, causing me to cough a few times to expel its horrid existence from my lungs. And as I turn around, I see the students from earlier being just as lost as they were when they first got off the bus. Alright! So with all that said, we're still nowhere near close to where we're supposed to be. We're going to go ahead and tell everybody what they need to do. I really need a break just from reading all that redundant information. And oh my god, leave a like if you're enjoying the video so far. Subscribe to the channel if you have not done so. And vsnow.com, that is vsnow.com, for continued visual novel entertainment. I was about to say something else, but yeah, at least it's been funny, which isn't saying much. I'm not even really into this demo yet, am I?